Hi everybody. I hope you're having a great morning so far. The sun is out. It's a great day to be grateful. I hope you're preparing for Thanksgiving. No matter what you do or where you are, I hope it's a great day for you. Even if you're Zooming with your family to be safe, I really hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I wanted to come on and just talk about an experience I had the other night. I did this call. It was the 20th, and a woman who was channeling Archangel Michael. It was like universal phone call. It was kind of an ironic day. I know it was for me. It was for a friend of mine, and it was for my son. So it was pretty interesting that this call was happening that evening. And so when I went up to my room and got on the call, which I'm not quite sure how many people were on it, but there was quite a few from all over the world. She put us on mute, talked a little bit about what to expect, and she told us that she had asked or written down some questions that she had for Archangel Michael, which included stuff about the pandemic and what the world is going through. And she just wanted some answers for us, and I thought I'd share them with you today. So first of all, when you channel spirit, it's pretty much giving them permission to come and speak through you. And this woman has been doing this since she was a teenager. She realized she was capable of doing this, and she started doing this and working on it and has gotten really well at it. So I went on this call, and when she got to the part of channeling Archangel Michael, it was amazing. Part of it was amazing, a lot of aha moments for myself, because I knew that I was very connected to him. And this was just validation of how strong my connection is with Archangel Michael. I know that he's one of my guides. I know he's a lot of light workers' guides, people who are called to heal and help, fix, support, and give to others. Archangel Michael is typically there with you because he is the angel of protection. So he protects us not only from harm, but also if you have sensitivity issues, he will definitely protect you from that, because we feel other people's energy. And with the way the world has been lately, it's been pretty negative. So he is with us. He teaches us how to set boundaries and say no. And he also is the angel of grounding, because most of us sensitive people will suffer from anxiety at one time or another in our life. He is also the angel that leads us to our life purpose. So if you ever need any help with those three things, if you want to feel brave, have strength, Archangel Michael's the angel to go to. He's the angel to call upon. So when she channeled him, she did this deep breathing exercise, and it was very quiet for a little bit. And then her voice had changed a little. The pace of her speaking got slower, and the words that she used were not like what we would use on our daily basis in conversation. So I'm going to just tell you, I'm going to talk about what he had addressed to all of us. He kept calling us light beings, beings of light, and reminding us that we need to shine our light. But with our sensitivity, with all the negativity in the world, it has become very difficult for us, some of us, to do that, even myself. So what he addressed was that there is a new dawn on the horizon. That was the first thing that it had come through her. And he said that he recommends that we get up to watch the sunrise, watch the sunset, and watch how slowly it goes, and all the different things that happen in those moments, because that is what we're going through. That's what this pandemic is. It's this horizon. It's a new horizon. It's the new dawn, he kept saying. And he addressed that it is time for reflection. It is time for us to go deep within. He wants us to work on our shadow side, which is the things that trigger us to be negative, how we react in a negative way, our fears, our worries, our doubts. He really wants us to work on that. He wants us to work on forgiveness of ourselves and of others, our patience. He really wants us to be more patient. And I thought it was kind of, it was major validation for me. So he said, this is the time where we have to surrender. And I just did a video on that. And then the next word he used was acceptance, which was also a part of my video. It just amazed me that he said those two words right after one another, because that was one of my last videos, was talking about how my word for the year was me and working on me, and I'm still doing that. But I also felt like it changed to surrender, because our ego wants to control. We don't have control. And I'm kind of done talking about that, because I'm hoping that by now you've realized that nothing is really in our control. And this pandemic was to wake us up and shake us out of that mindset, and to teach us how to silence our ego so that our higher self can come through and tell us exactly what we need to do, and to find answers to any problems, any questions we have. We're supposed to go deep within. That was another message. We have to go deep within and work on ourselves. We are supposed to be here to shine our light. We can't do that if we don't have a light to shine. So instead of complaining, instead of saying that we're stuck in the house and being frustrated, we have to change that to being safe in the house. We have to change that to gratitude. Like, what are you grateful for? Not just because it's Thanksgiving, but because there is a lot of things going on in the world that we don't understand and may not come to light anytime soon. Archangel Michael did say that on the 30th, we have our winter solstice, and that the energy is going to be lighter at that time. Does not mean that the pandemic is going to come to an end. It just means that the energy of the world is going to lessen. It's going to be a lot lighter. The pandemic is pretty much up to us. If we don't go in and work on ourselves and heal those dark parts of ourselves, it's just going to take that much longer for the pandemic to go away, to be healed, to find a vaccine. This is up to us. And, God is working with us. He's working through us. We have spirit guides and angels and Jesus and Mother Mary and our ancestors who are all willing to help us on the other side. And I just talked, my last video was about sitting still and listening and paying attention to the signs, because we have to do that. Otherwise, we're just going to be those robots on autopilot and just keep living our lives, thinking that we're doing the best that we can, when in reality, we're just on autopilot and we're just making it through the day. So change up your routines and do what you need to do to work on you. And that can be different for everybody, because not everything that I do is going to work for you. And I do know that if you've read the 4 agreements, you will already know that when you work on yourself, if you've already read it, if you've already worked on yourself in this aspect, you will be better at not making assumptions. You will be better at doing your best and being okay with that. You also not take things as personally, because you're going to be good with you. And you're also going to speak with more impeccable word, because you know what it feels like when people put you down, when people use you as a doormat. So work on those 4 agreements. Read the book if you feel guided. And that's part of working on yourself. That's part of going within. That's part of doing your part to shine your light, so that others will do the same, so that we can get this planet healed and get ourselves healed. The other thing that Archangel Michael brought up was the fact that we need to be in selfless service. We have to engage in that, helping others, but he also reminded us that we have to include ourselves in that. We want to be able to help others without being taken advantage of, without being depleted. And in order to do that, we have to fill ourselves up first. He addressed that it is not meaning that you're putting yourself above all, but you're also not putting yourself below everybody and becoming an enabler or just concentrating on helping everybody else and discluding yourself. Because it is very important for us to fill our cup first. You can't pour from an empty cup. So make sure that you are filling yourself up with gratitude, love, joy, and healing so that you can spread that out into the world and onto others that need it. So selfless service. And then he also reminded us, which I mentioned in my last video, that we are all one. And it's not just one with each other. We are all one with all of creation. We are one with nature, which includes the animals and the insects. It includes everything that God has created, especially our planet. So with that in mind, we have to see with equal eyes. He mentioned that when we look at each other, like you are me, I am you, I am one with that ladybug, I am one with the trees, that we will be even better at shining our light. We will be even more aware of how much work we need to do on ourselves so that we can help other people and the planet and the animals on it and everything in the earth that God has, on the earth that God has created. The other thing he mentioned was that, I'm trying to think if there was anything, oh yes, the virtues. He just reminded me. We have to work on the virtues, and the virtues that he talked about was patience, faith, surrendering, acceptance, resolve. He talked about the fact that when we go within and resolve our issues, resolve our triggers, learn about ourselves, what makes us joyful, what makes us happy, what makes us angry and sad, what do we need to let go of? We will have resolve. And that is a great thing to be able to say, I forgive myself, I forgive others. Doesn't mean I have to be in their energy, doesn't mean that I have to give them the time of day. It just means that I've let go of that weight. He had also talked about forgiveness. He also talked about how, being all one collective consciousness, that's where you have to be mindful, because everything we do comes back to us in one way or another. So he wants us to practice kindness, practice being patient with other people, especially those we do not understand. But in order to do that, we have to understand ourselves. So please try to go within, even if it's just for a few minutes a day. You don't have to like journaling, you don't have to journal, but try to read. I know that a lot of people say, I don't have time. I don't have time to read, I don't have time to meditate, I don't have time to pray, I don't have time to journal, I don't have time to do the things that I want to do. And this pandemic was given to us as a gift to have time to do that, to appreciate being home with our families, to appreciate the time we have to work on ourselves in whatever way you feel works for you. Technology, getting on to Zoom classes, getting on, fun things that you can do, playing games online. I know technology can be a pain in the butt, but this is helping us. You just don't want to distract yourself from working on yourself by being on your electronics all the time and engaging your time on the TV and watching something that might be mindless and is not helping you work on you. So to recap, he wants us to look at every day at the horizon, sunset and sunrise, and take note to how patient we have to be for that sun to come up and for the sun to go down, and realize that that's a metaphor for what we're going through right now. Knowing that things will lighten up as of the 30th of this month, focusing on ourselves, going within, working to heal ourselves, asking for help from Spirit to do so, bring to light that which we need to fix within ourselves, because you're not going to change or fix anybody else. Once we do that with ourselves, we can shine our light on others. We can be a good guide for them, but they have to be willing to want to change. If they want to, they will. They'll do the work, just like you. Try to refrain from being around negativity. Stop looking for it. Stop complaining. Focus on gratitude. Work on patience and faith and acceptance and surrendering. And be one with all that is, knowing that what we give is what we get. So be kind. And I've said this before, be kind and just love everyone as much as you can. And ask for signs. Ask for signs as to what we can do to help better this planet and get this pandemic over with. It will probably most likely go into 2021, and this is a year, he's reminding us that this is a year of letting go and going within and change. Change is a big word right now, and I know you're all feeling it. And that's where prayer comes in. So pray and then listen. Listen for the answers. You will be guided, even if it's through a sign. You'll get it. You don't have to worry. You don't have to fear. Only those negative feelings are only going to set you back from becoming who you're meant to become. And that is what we're supposed to be going through right now. You have to visualize yourself like we're all in a cocoon, and we're going to come out of this like butterflies, and we're all going to be beautiful, and we're all going to be joyful, and we're all going to be admiring all the blessings that have come out of this, because it's going to be good. And that's what we have to know. We have to know that a new earth is being born. Actually, Eckhart Tolle has a book, A New Earth, if you're interested. And I think it would be good for us all to read that, because it has a lot in there about your ego and what keeps us stuck and what keeps us in that mindset of negativity. And I believe that was pretty much the focus of Archangel Michael. If he has any other messages for you, I'll be sure to let you know. But it was a very enlightening experience for me. Much validation that he is connected to me through the videos I had posted before I even heard this call and this talk with Archangel Michael. So be grateful for your angels and know that you are always protected and safe. And I wish you again a very happy Thanksgiving. Have a great day.